Hi guys, this is continuation of my other video in which I did show you how to prepare USB pen drive with Windows 11 setup that can be done on unsupported devices with no TPM module, no secure boot and less than 4 GB of RAM. Link to that video is in the right upper corner. But in this video we will go through the actual installation process. By the way, this tutorial will be useful even when you do normal installation without the trick for unsupported devices. So let's begin. Alright, so first thing we have to do is prepare our motherboard to boot up our pen drive before it will try to boot up any other drive or disk. So immediately after starting my computer, I press Escape to get into startup menu and then F10 key to enter the BIOS. Usually you have to press only one key to go straight to the BIOS settings, and this key can be different in your case. It can be F8 or delayed too. Here I will go to the System Configuration tab and then Boot Options. Take note that the look of your BIOS menu can be different than mine. Here I have UEFI boot order, and I will make sure that the position USB diskette on key, USB hard disk, has the priority, so it's the first one on the list of bootable drives. I already have it set at the first one, but if you would like to change its position, then I would use F5 and F6 keys. Again, keys can be different in your case, and the name of the USB pen drive can be different too. Look for explanations on the right side or the bottom of the screen to know which keys to use. Now it's the best moment to put your pen drive into one of USB ports. My pen drive has USB 3.0 plug, so it means that computers with USB 3.0 ports can read data from them faster. Those USB 3.0 plugs and ports usually have blue color, so check if you have a pen drive that has blue plastic inside of the plug. And if so, then it's worth to put it into an USB port in your PC with blue color. This way the installation will begin quicker. Now I will press F10 to save settings and exit. The system will restart. Alright, and we see now the installation dialog window. Change the language to your desired one, probably your native one. Do the same with the time and currency format field too. Confirm with enter or just press next button with mouse cursor. Keyboard and input method. Choose your desired one. Remember to choose your native one, of course, if you have some special characters that are not in regular Latin alphabet. We will choose first option, install Windows 11 obviously. And we have to confirm by checking this box here that the drive we will choose in the next step, so the drive that we will install Windows 11 system on, will be formatted, and that means every file on it will be deleted. So please be careful and make sure that you choose the right drive. Alright, now I will enter my product key because I have one. You can buy them online, but you can skip this step for now as well. And either get the product key later and activate your system after installation will finish, or just use Windows without activation. Your system will be available to use anyway, only with some not major limitations, like lack of ability to change the system themes, so color of the taskbar, start menu and window borders. And another thing is that you will get small watermark in the right bottom corner saying activate Windows. Go to settings to activate Windows. What? Accept the agreement? No way! Microsoft, why there is no I don't accept the agreement and I wish to proceed button? It's such a bummer. Please add it in the future versions of setup. Alright, jokes aside, you have to accept the agreement to continue, obviously. I'm just goofing around. Alright, now it's very important part. Be very careful, take your time. You have to choose the right disk. Everything on it will be deleted. In my situation, disk 0 is the right one, but the right one for you can be different, of course, and I don't take any responsibility, you know. And disk 1 with some partitions on it is the pen drive I did insert into USB port. So I choose disk 0, which has an allocated space, which means that it does not even have any partition yet, so it's not formatted yet. But in your case, maybe you already did use before the disk you want the Windows to be installed on. So maybe it still does contain some partitions with data. So I repeat again, be very careful. If you are not tech-savvy person and you are not sure, please ask a power user to check for you which is the correct one. I press create partition option, and in the field size in megabytes, I will type how much of the whole disk space I want to use for the installation. Automatically it does fill itself with a value that means the whole disk drive, but I only want to use a part of it, which is double the size of recommended 64 gigabytes. I think it would be much easier for people if this field would accept values in gigabytes directly, but this way you will have to use a calculator and multiply amount of gigabytes that you would like to use by 1024. By the way, it's possible to install Windows 11 on a 30 GB partition, but you would not be able to install upgrades and much software, so you can get away with recommended 64 GB minimum. It will be more future-proof. Alright, now I press apply. Let's wait a moment. Setup will create 2 additional partitions. One will be EFI partition and the second one will be 16 MB reserved partition. The third one is the one we need for the operating system itself. The rest will remain as unallocated space. Maybe I will use it for something different later. Now I will mark the third partition with this blue bar. Be careful here again. And I will proceed with next button. Now I can finally confirm and begin installation with the install button. And we have to wait now, but stay tuned and vigilant, because just after the first restart, we will have to enter the BIOS settings again and change the boot order again, but this time to our system disk instead of a pen drive. I don't know why, but setup is not telling us when to unplug the pen drive. The point of time when you could safely unplug the drive is not clear, so it's more safe to just enter the BIOS again and revert the boot order. The drill is the same as before here. I will keep on pressing escape key and then I will press F10. Again, system configuration tab, boot options. I will go to OS boot manager position with arrow keys and then I will raise it to the first position by pressing F6. Keys can be different in your case. Let's save with F10 again. Now as you can see, the setup does continue without the USB drive plugged in, because it does use the files that were copied from it to SSD or HDD drive. We can unplug the pen drive safely. Now we can choose our region. Is this right keyboard layout or input method? No, I will choose here Polish for me. Choose your own one too. Do you want to add second keyboard layout? You can just skip this step and use only one layout if you want to, but you can install additional language packs with layouts later too, after finished installation. I will skip connecting to the internet now and I will do it later. You can create a password here, but I will skip it now. I install Windows now just for the demonstration. And as you can see, we have Windows up and running. But I noticed that sometimes Windows will not be able to find a proper driver for Wi-Fi card, so in such case you can connect your PC to the router with an Ethernet cable instead, and later let Windows Update find the proper drive on Microsoft server, or search for it manually online. Sometimes it's otherwise. Windows will have the proper driver for Wi-Fi card, but not for the network card with cable port. If the Windows will not be able to install a driver for any of the network interfaces, then you will have to find the card name in Device Manager and search for the driver online on other device already connected to the network. To start Device Manager, either type Device Manager in the search box on the taskbar below the screen, or right-click on the Windows logo and choose Device Manager. If it does not give you a clue about the network card's proper name, then you would have to use a program called HWinfo and start this program in full mode. So we would have to actually download this program on the other device and transfer it. We will now update our system. The easiest way is to go to this search bar on the taskbar below and type in Windows Update. Open the Windows Update settings position. And now let's press check for updates. We have to wait a bit till everything will finish downloading. Alright, as you can see, I have this exclamation mark here, meaning we lack some important updates yet, but we have to restart. Anyway, I will skip this part to keep the video shorter, and you already know how to do it. Well, what I can tell you is that for some strange reason, graphics driver did not want to finish its installation properly. But it doesn't matter that much anyway, because graphics drivers and chipset drivers that are available directly from Microsoft servers are usually too old anyway, and it's better to download them directly from the vendor's site. This way you have the most recent ones. By the way, sorry about the quality. I could not record this footage through capture card because HDMI output in my laptop did not output signal in BIOS, and later better graphics driver was needed. So I will install graphics driver manually and I will show you how to do so in my next video. If you find this video useful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, please write them in the comment section down below the video. Have a good one, until next time.